For 1,000 years, without exception, 2 young Greek noblewomen landed on the Trojan coast at night each year, fully aware that the men of the city would come out to hunt them. If captured, they were burned alive, and their ashes were thrown into the sea. If they managed to reach the temple, a different, though not necessarily better, fate awaited them. All of this was the price paid for a crime committed by another man a century earlier. Athena's wrath against the Locrians originated during the sack of Troy. The catalyst was the crime of Ajax the Lesser, who violated the right of sanctuary by dragging Cassandra from Athena's temple. This sacrilege tainted the entire Greek army. Although Ajax initially saved his own life by taking refuge in the very temple he had desecrated, divine justice struck swiftly during the journey home. After boasting that he had survived the storm despite Athena's anger, the hero drowned when Poseidon split the Gyraean rocks. Nevertheless, the stain of his sacrilege lingered in his homeland, and 3 years later, plague and famine ravaged Locris. The Oracle of Delphi decreed that they must appease the goddess by sending 2 noble maidens to Ilion every year, a practice that would endure for a millennium. These young women were chosen by lottery from the 100 houses, the highest-ranking aristocratic families. Upon arriving at the Trojan shores, they had to navigate clandestine routes to avoid being captured by the local men. If a maiden was caught and executed during this ritual hunt, her body was burned using sterile wood. Her ashes were scattered into the sea from a cliff. Those who successfully reached the sacred grounds entered into perpetual servitude, tasked with sweeping and sprinkling the temple to maintain its purity. As a mark of their diminished status, they wore only a single tunic, walked barefoot, and kept their heads shaved. However, historical records suggest that these young women were actually replaced annually, returning home with reinforced prestige. This ritual functioned as a collective purification mechanism. The community acted unanimously to pay off Ajax's debt, following a recurring 2-for-1 transactional logic common in archaic Greek jurisprudence. The tribute can be interpreted as a reverse wedding. While traditional marriage integrates a woman into a lineage and the sexual sphere, this ritual consecrated them to abstinence and isolation. Yet, by surviving the hunt, the maidens demonstrated their gender's passive resistance against the ravages of war and sacrilege. Divine wrath compelled Locrian society to maintain an active link with its past and to recognize the precariousness of its moral order. For 1,000 years, the Locrians continued to send their daughters, not because of faith, but because the cost of stopping would have been too high. Keep this in mind the next time someone speaks to you about the rationality of the ancient Greek world. And if you want to understand how this same Hellenic world expanded throughout the Mediterranean, this video about Greek colonies explains it.